There is a gentle humming to the night, a seeming unease to the air as the heavy rain pours down around you. You find yourself and your companions resting under a rocky outcropping, using it as a makeshift tent to stave off the rain. There is a small fire flickering between them, but you sit on the edge of the light, taking the first watch. You've camped in this woods 100 times, more even, but something is off tonight. It absolutely must have something to do with your new charge. An elf, skilled with a bow, and his old-looking dog with protruding spines and pointy ears. Fong, he calls her. As you look over your shoulder to steal another glance, you see Fong calmly looking at you over her front paws when she suddenly pulls back her upper lip in a silent snarl. You immediately snap back around to face the forest again, and a set of floating yellow eyes glowing dully in the darkness seem to just shimmer past the rain barrier, and in a blink, they're gone. You lean a bit closer to the wall of the downpour, trying to find those eyes again, when Fong trots over to you and begins to growl at the darkness. When suddenly 2 black whips fly into the cavern with large spikes on the end directed right at your face. You pull back and squeeze your eyes closed in anticipation of impact, when after a second, you hear a yelp from the darkness. You got Fong? They were inches from your face, and a soft buzzing and blue glow just charged next to you as a limping Fong appears and begins to bark. Everyone starts to rustle, making quickly for their weapons. You turn back to the cascade and see those yellow eyes again hovering just above sharp white teeth. The creature lets out a frightening roar, and those black whips snap back towards you with frightening speed. Roll for initiative. Hey there, creatures, and welcome to Encounter This, a podcast exploration of the creatures from Dungeons & Dragons and the lore that surrounds them.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Encounter This. My name is Freeman Hallister Easton, and today my co-host, James Corell Kidd, will be taking us through a creature known as the Displacer Beasts.
Hey there, creatures.
This creature is found in the Monster Manual from Wizards of the Coast on page 81. James, what have you got for us?
Well, I just want to start off by letting our audience know that this is our first official coronavirus broadcast. So we are recording remotely, so if things sound a little bit different or the quality's not up to snuff, blame the pandemic.
Yeah, stupid corona that we can't see each other's fine, handsome, gentlemanly faces.
Or read our expressions, so that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. You'll have to read everything in the intonation of my voice.
Yeah, exactly. But
you could probably still hear my laugh at least.
Easily. But to get down to brass tacks, Displacer Beasts is one of my favorites, as I'm sure you well know.
I do know, yes. I hope we get into it, but I've always been curious, not so curious that I would actually investigate it, but curious enough as to why they're called Displacer Beast. It seems like an oddly specific name.
We're definitely going to get into that.
Wicked. Okay.
Yeah.
Start us off with some D&D lore, 5e style. What do you got?
Actually, we're going to take it all the way back. Displacer Beast has been around since first edition, appearing in the first Monster Manual. So
that's not what I asked for, but
the whole time.
Okay. The whole time. Okay, well, that is interesting, though. Okay, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, they are a long, skinny black cat with 6 legs and blue-black fur. They're about 9 feet long, 227 kilograms, or 500 pounds, about the weight of a commercial dumpster.
That's quite specific. All right.
Yeah. 2 black tentacles protrude from between its shoulders with spiky tips on them for grabbing.
Oh, yeah. Spiky protrusions that grab.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like tentacles, like
right.
Like pseudopods.
Right.
Actually, I don't think they're pseudo at all. I think they're just pods.
Displacer pods. Beast pods.
Yeah, beast pods. I think that was a cartoon in the 90s. Their eyes glow with an awful malevolence that persists even in death is a quote that I pulled directly from the manual.
Oh, okay. That's
and they take
kind of badass.
Yeah, and they take their name from their ability to displace light, making it appear a few feet away from where it actually is.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Yeah. My main question to start is that a commercial dumpster full or empty?
Empty.
Oh, empty. Okay, so they weigh the same as an empty commercial dumpster.
Actually, there's no possible way that's true. I can put 127 kilograms empty.
All right. Okay, sure. Yeah, cool. So their eyes glow even after death. That's eerie as fuck. And they displace light, making it appear a few feet away. That's terrifying.
Yeah, these things are great. They used to roam the Feywild, and they were eventually captured and trained by the Unseelie Court, and they were selectively bred to hunt down unicorns, pegasi, like celestial creatures found in the Feywild.
Oh, could they climb tall mountains to get to the Kirin?
I would imagine so. They're big six-legged cats.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Well, so for all intents and purposes, not a very kindly creature.
No, not even a little bit. Eventually, they got smart enough to escape and become wild again, so they kind of referaled the entire species.
Oh, no shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Then they upped their population, and then this is when the Seelie Court found out that the Unseelie Court had been like breeding this. So the Seelie Court then specifically bred blink dogs to hunt down these Displacer Beasts.
Ah, which is our another creature in D&D, right?
Yep, exactly. So eventually the Displacer Beast managed to find a weak point in reality and crossed over to the mortal plane. But to this day, blink dogs and Displacer Beasts will actually just attack each other on sight.
Ooh, like just mortal enemies. That's a result of selective breeding.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. Like cats and dogs, kind of.
Elven intervention.
Amazing. Those hoity-toity bastards.
Exactly. They kill for fun and for food. And after killing, they tend to toy with their prey. They use their tentacles to drag prey to a secluded place and then feed. They tend to hunt alone or in small prides, and they ambush using kiting tactics. So they try and draw the enemies into an ambush.
Gotcha. So we have a dark, six-legged cat that's 9 feet long.
Yep.
Weighs the same as a possibly empty and or full commercial dumpster.
Prepared to be corrected on that.
That will kill blinking dogs on sight.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And
I want to fight one in game, yeah. In game, not in real life.
I don't think you can take one in real life.
Well, I'm not a small man, but not that big.
I think we still count as CR 1/4 commoners.
Easily. I'm certainly not tough by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, and they're still prized as like guards and pets today if the Displacer Beasts think they can get something in return. So they have a little bit of sentience to them.
Okay, sure. Do you think they would purposely degrade themselves just to get fed for free?
Degrade is probably a strong word, but I think they would like not become housebroken, but make alliances. I imagine it's just like a regular cat. Like you don't own your cat. Your cat just kind of lives there with you.
This is very truer words have never been spoken on this podcast. All right, cool. Anything else?
There was a Displacer Serpent from 3rd edition, which had the same Displacer tactics.
Oh, cool.
Was really cool. Hallister was a named Displacer Beast after the wizard Hallister Blackcloak from the Woolly Wood level of Undermountain from the adventure The Mad Mage.
Okay. I think that's Willowwood.
Willowwood?
You said Woollywood, yeah.
That sounds like something I'd say.
But still, Dungeon of the Mad Mage, Undermountain, that's cool. I feel like recently we've referenced the Dungeon of the Mad Mage a few times, more than usual. It seems to be cropping up. I know there's a lot of names that pop up here and there that not only do they exist in the Undermountain, but they tend to exist elsewhere as well at some point in their timeline or lives.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
Past edition adventure or something.
I believe the Dungeon of the Mad Mage is a big dungeon jive essentially, right?
Yeah, I think it's a dungeon crawl. I haven't actually played this one. This is one of the newest ones that came out, I think. Yeah,
what I do know, it goes from level 5 to level 20. So it covers a lot of ground. It's huge. Yeah, I don't know many deals beyond that. And in fact, the only reason I know that is I just recently joined a group that's doing the Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which does 1 to 5 in Waterdeep only. The city of Waterdeep, and then from there it's like slightly encouraged that you can jump into the Yawning Portal and venture through the Dungeon of the Mad Mage from 5 to 20.
That's cool. I didn't know there was a Yawning Portal in Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, that's literally it's the name of a tavern in Waterdeep. And there's a yawning portal that sits right in the tavern inside, and it's sort of famous for adventurers coming through and challenge, doing stuff. At the beginning of the adventure, we were sitting in the tavern hanging out, and there was bets happening with a new crew that looked real green going in. So people were literally betting on people like diving in, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Gotcha. That is really cool. I always thought
I bet they won't make it to level 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, I always thought the Yawning Portal was in Greyhawk.
I don't know. You have read more about Yawning Portal stuff than I have. I've never read Tales of the Yawning Portal or like dove into it so much. So I honestly don't know.
It's like all of them. It can be set kind of anywhere.
Sure, yeah. But that's cool. There's a named Displacer Beast, Hallister. That was my nickname in the intro.
That's yours.
Indeed. I feel like we're going to get to yours here soon.
Oh, right quick. I love that cultural lore.
Yeah, bring it on.
So other than obviously being the body of a Black Panther, the Displacer Beast is based off a creature called the Corel. It is a black tentacled cat-like beast who first appeared in A.E. Van Vogt's short called The Black Destroyer, which was a short story published in 1939.
So you had a different spelling in the nicknames in the intro, so I didn't recognize it. But this spelling I do recognize. It's a Coeurl. And I don't know much about this creature, but I do know it's a classic one. And it appears in some form or another in every single Final Fantasy game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of many mythological creatures that will appear in basically every single game. So those have their own proprietary ones, and sometimes a lot of these classic mythical ones. Yeah, so that they always appear. They always have these really long whiskers that are like tentacle-like that come across their face, and they're usually kind of jaguar-esque or a little more calico or something like that. And I'd say aesthetically in the Final Fantasy games particularly. But yeah, that's something I recognize, and I always wondered how to pronounce it. I think we called them co-whirls.
Oh yeah. I mean that could be it. I'm just making most of this up.
Well, like we do, yeah.
Yeah. So the Black Destroyer was later incorporated into an anthology book called Voyage of the Space Beagle, which was named after Darwin's boat, the Beagle.
Oh, what? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And it's said that this particular story, the Black Destroyer, was cited as starting the golden age of science fiction from the 40s to the 60s, which I thought was a really fucking
cool.
neat. And it was also definitively the inspiration for Alien in 1979. Voight's estate eventually claimed a settlement from 20th Century Fox for ripping off his property.
No way. That's super cool. I don't think I would have put those two together, but now that you say it, it kind of makes sense, I guess. I mean,
I think it's just like the dragging people into the darkness and consuming them kind of thing. Like there are a lot of elements that are really similar.
Yeah, I think I'm not like a hugely classic Alien fan, but the xenomorph, like Queen, I think she's got maybe a little more tentacle-esqueness to her. There's certainly that weird thing because of their mouth.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of dark play. It does kind of shock me that they actually got a settlement out of it, but I guess maybe there's more behind-the-scenes detail, maybe particularly with this creature from this Van Vogt's telling that maybe is very similar to the xenomorph.
Yeah, I haven't read The Black Destroyer, so I can't speak to that. But Alien is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I can tell you that it is. There are some like airs, and I think the plot is pretty much the exact same.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that just now. I was thinking it's probably less about the creature, more about the setting and the plot and how it all goes down.
Yeah, and how it ends with the alien sneaking onto the ship. That's how the Coral leaves its homeworld.
Right. Spoilers. Some people haven't watched films from 1979, dude.
Those people are what we call wrong.
All right, tell me more about the coral.
Okay, so the Corel is similar to a large cat. Its forelegs are twice as long as its hind legs, and it has tentacles on its shoulder that end in suction cups. and it said the suction cups are used to feed on the substance of a being's id, which doesn't actually mean anything other than like life essence. It's don't go down that Freud line of thinking.
Okay.
That's where I went, but he's just using it as a synonym for like higher brain function and life and essence and stuff like that. Like there's no real substance behind it.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things I found was Pathfinder was actually able to secure permission to use the Corel itself for a single use. Like they only got it once, and it was in a End of Eternity, which is book 4 of 6 in the Legacy of Fire, which sounds awesome. It's like this book about like adventure paths with genies, like kind of like Giant Slayer, but with genies.
Right. Okay. Cool. So they secure permission to use the word one time in one book of a series of 6 books.
The creature, yeah.
That's amazing.
So they got the Corel from the Black Destroyer. So
someone must have been a huge fan and just made their case so well. Can we? It's the perfect creature. Can I just reference it, please? Can I use it?
I could not figure out how Gygax got it.
Yeah, crazy.
So, I mean, these guys went after 20th Century Fox, right? So,
right.
Like this isn't a wizard owns creature, and there's no TM next to them.
Maybe they're more friendly now. Maybe they appreciate being asked, as opposed to just being, assuming that you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Take that, Ridley Scott. Although I'm sure you didn't pay for it.
No, I'm sure he paid for it down the line, but
yeah.
So they're clearly very similar to the Displacer Beast, since they're directly based off each other. They're really close. The main difference is the beast doesn't feed off a creature's life essence, and it doesn't seem like it ever has. I went through all the past editions and took a real hard look at that, but the tentacles seem to just be for murder purposes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and the Displacer Beast has an extra pair of legs, which is honestly probably what saved them from that copyright infringement.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when you first said it, and not that it's necessarily uncommon in some of these fantasy games. Like that extra set of legs, I just imagine them must be more of a nuisance than helpful most of the time. They must just get tangled up in them by mistake. I mean, obviously they know how to work their own legs, but it's usually they're not spread across like a body that's super super long and evenly spaced and justified. More of those sort of not crustacean, but like a millipede, centipede style of creature makes more sense to have a lot more legs in the way it operates and slithers around. But a feline or mammalian creature sounds like it would just get in the way.
You would think, but if you actually look at the anatomy of a Displacer Beast, the front 4 legs are really close together up at the front, like a regular cat. Right. And then the back 2 legs are right at the back. So I don't know if it's more helpful or less helpful, but they're not like evenly spaced. They're weirdly positioned so that it actually looks kind of right.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see something in the mechanics that helps my mind justify it.
No.
No, it's not going to happen. You don't know. No, you do know. You know how apologetic my mind can be. I will find a way. Damn it.
And I guess that brings us to today's and everyday's sponsor.
And that, there, friends, is the lovely sound of our sponsor. Who, by the way, I bumped into the head rep finally. When I cycled past Strange Fellows Brewing, and I told him about the podcast, finally.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and he thought it was awesome. He said he would pass it on to some of his really nerdy friends who play a lot of D&D, and someone else was in the room. I don't know who it was, but they gave me a genuine thanks. They must have been an owner or heavily involved in the business. He gave me a genuine thanks for like the support. By no means I think they're in the position to actually sponsor us at this point, considering the old coronavirus. But yeah, they were.
I think they're doing okay.
They were pretty. I'm sure, yeah, but not that we would demand much.
Yeah, like a 4-pack every 2
But I don't think they're giving out. I don't think they're giving out much in the way of freebies at this point because they're not doing a whole lot on their accounts. But
it's tax write-off, man.
Yeah, they loved it. They thought it was really cool and fun. So,
that's great.
So there's that.
They're good guys over there, and girls.
So shout out to Nick Black, and of course once again Zoe Kirkham who gave us our original tasters in January.
Oh, for the Haguary suite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You're You're doing amazing work over there. We really quite appreciate it.
And in case this is your first time listening, what we are talking about is the Strange Fellows Blackmail Milk Stout. The glorious, toasty, roasty, ever so slightly sweet, but not so sickeningly so. It's just a lovely beer.
It's glorious. Should we dig back into this?
Yeah, I suppose I had to take a couple drinks, you know.
No, I just want to make sure we
the
don't
mechanics.
Yeah, perfect.
What are the mechanics of a Displacer Beast?
It's a CR3.
Okay, nothing crazy.
Nah, it has 85 HP.
That's 0.5 for each leg.
Yep. It has a 13 AC because it's a big fucking cat.
Yep.
It is lawful evil. But unaligned in 4th edition because apparently Lawful Evil was just removed for this edition.
Seriously?
I have it written here, but I don't know where. I don't have any footnotes for that, so I can't.
Okay.
Cannot confirm, but I honestly think it might be true. I don't think we've covered any devils yet, but maybe we'll find out in our next episode.
I mean, it would be odd for you to make a note of that without having read it somewhere.
Or found how I backed it up, but...
Right. I will assume there's a source for it somewhere, but like we've always said, 4th edition, total left field. So
yeah, I love this edition. Just to make that clear, I know we shit on it all the time, but I really appreciate 4th.
Actually, a fella I've been playing with online, he's both joined my other Starfinder game, and he plays in the 2 D&D games I'm in now, and he's a total advocate for 4th edition. He thinks it's a great system, but not for a live play, was an argument he made the other day. He said, because there's a lot of people that actually do like certain types of play via forums, or at least they used to. And he said it's one of those really, really great systems. And he said it would be one of the greatest systems to do if Wizard actually had pulled through on creating their own sort of like Roll20 or Fantasy Ground style of program, which apparently they had originally planned to do with 4th edition, and that's what it was based around.
Yeah, 4th edition was based around being able to pick a character up from any table and move it to a different table.
Right.
Like like conference play, but yes, they were originally planning to build their own platform to play it on, which was
right. Yeah. That's what he was saying. It was built around that, but it fell through. They just never completed it and never launched it, and that's probably why 4th edition fell into a bit of obscurity and is underappreciated. Now that being said, they made a lot more changes than just the mechanics of that system.
Yes. Oh my god.
Like lore wise, it's like crazy. Right?
It is tough reading through some of those monster manuals because I just don't understand what some of the words mean.
Amazing. But anyway, we have a CR3 creature in front of us. This Displacer Beast, 85 HP, AC 13. You said, lawful evil.
Yeah, and it doesn't speak any languages. Surprise! It's a giant fucking puma.
Okay.
It has.
I was curious about that earlier when you said that they will sometimes sort of work for someone as a guard sort of creature.
Yeah,
if they think it's worth it. I thought maybe they would have some form of communication.
No. I'm sure they understand some common, just based on being cats. But
yeah.
All right. I got 60 feet dark vision, 40-foot speed, which is a little bit kind of slow for these, is what I felt. But other than that, nothing really sticks out. They've got a beefcake.
Those 2 extra legs getting in the way.
Yeah, I guess so. They've got a huge strength, which I thought was weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 18, whereas their dex is only 15, so... That kind of
I honestly think that makes sense for a big cat. Like you're talking 9 feet long. The weight of a commercial dumpster, whether or not you filled it.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's like a lion or a tiger. They are big creatures, and they are full of strength. I'm sure they're agile, but like they don't have say the speed necessarily of a cheetah or something smaller. I would imagine.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But all their physical stats are pretty high, and they've got a 12 wisdom, which is kind of where all that stuff comes in.
Okay, cool.
So it's much higher than normal.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a couple of really cool abilities. One is avoidance, which is just a beefed up evasion from 3.5 or any of the Pathfinder games. So essentially, anytime you make a saving throw, half damage on a fail and none on a success. So.
Okay.
Same as it is in Pathfinder or Starfinder. So if you've got to make a dex saving throw, they roll, and if they succeed, they don't take that half damage that sometimes they would, and if they fail, they only take that half damage.
Okay. So this extends beyond the usual. What's the rogue ability?
I think it's evasion.
Evasion. Yeah. Sorry, did you just say that?
I did, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was kind of listening and imagining it in my own head at the same time. Bad combo. Yeah, but this covers all saving throws, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty damn cool.
Yeah, so anytime it makes a saving throw, it only will ever take half damage.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And their other special ability is the one that gives it its name. It's displacement, which is what gives it its name. It projects an illusion that makes it appear to be next to where it currently is, giving whoever's attacking it disadvantage. So
okay.
Yeah, and it's a free ability, so it lasts until the end of the Displacer Beast next turn, or if it drops to 0 HP.
Okay, and you say free ability. Is it a free action in the game, or is
it's not part of the action economy?
No shit. So they just get that straight up.
Yep.
So that's where their displacement of light, as you described it earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
In the 5e lore, that's where that comes into place. That's pretty crazy. I didn't expect it to be that they project an illusion of themselves.
But I think it's supposed to be like refraction of light kind of thing, like a trick of the eye.
Right. Okay. All right. I have a thought on that. I think we'll say that for homebrew.
Yeah, sure.
What else you got?
So it only has one attack, but it has 10-foot reach, being a large creature having tentacles attached to its back. It's a plus 6 to hit. It's 1d6 plus 4 bludgeoning, but it's also 1d6 piercing on top of that. So it's plus 6 to hit, 2d6, one bludgeoning, 1 piercing, and it's got multi-attack because it's got 2 tentacles.
Right. So only attacks with the tentacles? No bite, no claw?
No bite, no claw.
Oh, that's strange.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. We can start homebrew with, if that's we can start homebrew with that. Like that, it probably should have those.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well step into homebrew. You know, it's my favorite home.
Home of the brews.
Home of the brews.
Yeah. Why not? Why no bite? It's a big cat. Why no claw? That seems strange.
A little bit, yeah. And I honestly believe that has a lot to do with the lore, where it's supposed to attack you out of the darkness, pull you into it, and then eat you. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't want a direct attack.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's probably where I think we've spoken about before, where the sort of tactics or tactic suggestions for creatures, I think you said they were in 4E, or it was 3E.
I actually have one of them in the notes here.
Do you? Okay, cool. Because I think those come into play real important there. Because we can discern or assume that the only reason they do tentacles is they want to stay in the hiding. But what happens when they really are face to face with something they can't avoid? Surely they're going to bite and claw. And it seems silly to me that they wouldn't include that. But they don't do the tactics thing. So yeah, bring it on. What do you got?
Yeah, so there were a few in 4th edition. I just pulled my favorite one here because this one is fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. It's called Shifting Tactics. Whenever an attack misses the Displacer Beast due to its displacement, it can move 5 feet at will. So,
okay.
It's like a free 5-foot movement whenever you miss it. So you can never quite hit it down, which I really fucking love.
That is awesome. Yeah.
And I think a combination of these things, so like the displacement ability and the shifting tactics, could really fuck with a party. So the way I would run it is I would run the displacement 5 feet ahead of it. Mm-hmm. And use that to keep that 10-foot reach on your opponents, to keep battering it with the tentacles from far away while they're trying to fuck with this illusion in front of them.
That produces a really cool visual, because you imagine that you think the Displacer Beast is sort of in 2 places at once by this projected illusion, and then if you hit the wrong one, I know it doesn't quite specify you see 2 of them at once. It sort of projects itself out and displaces light and whatnot, but I like to imagine that you can kind of tell where it's at by the fact that there's a couple of them, kind of like the mirror image spell or something like it.
Right.
And then you swing down, and it just jolts from one side to the other, or forward and back, and you still have 2 in front of you, but they both have just moved in such quick succession, and you just don't know. Like, that could be, if you continuously miss it, it's like jolting around. Like, that's some anime shit right there. You know, it's like just across the battlefield.
It could be really cool. I've always kind of thought of it like the blur spell. So it's just moving so fast, or it looks like it's constantly shifting.
Yeah, that's actually a much better example, I would say, than the mirror image. Right. So what else do you got for like homebrew? I mean, the tactics are cool for 4E. What would you change or do differently?
I don't think I do too much. If I really wanted to make this a bigger and badder creature, I'd probably just up the dex, giving it a higher AC, and then maybe look at giving it pack tactics or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I guess considering the fact that you said they might hunt in small prides, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough, I would say. How do you feel about their glowing eyes, and the displacement part? I guess it doesn't really make too much of a difference. I'd have a good flavorful element.
I think that's all it needs to be is flavor.
Yeah.
Maybe glowing doesn't mean visible, you know?
The way it was worded earlier in the description about how they displace light, this is what sort of I like the idea. What we just described is, them sort of jolting around, the ability to move that 5 feet at will when missed. Combination of like the visual of the blur spell. I like the idea of maybe having a counterpart to this creature and having the displace light where wherever they walk, it's literally a ball of darkness, like probably magical darkness that you can't see through unless you have something like true sight. And so you don't really know what creature you're fighting. So wherever they stand, light is like sort of displaced, divided, pushed aside, quite literally.
Yeah.
And it's sort of in that long, lanky shape of the creature, all you see is that long, lanky shape of darkness. And these tentacles every once in a while jolt out from it and attack you. And it could be a good, like, mysterious way to introduce your players to a creature like this. It's definitely changing that element of it, not just aesthetically, I think definitely functionally and mechanically, but I think it would be really fun to play with.
Yeah, definitely. There's a creature from the Creature Codex by Cobalt Press called the Voidling, I think, that does exactly that.
Oh, cool.
It's an aberration. I don't know if you were there for it, but I used it in a one-shot.
I don't recall anything like that, experiencing that, no, so probably not.
Yeah, it was just like this perpetual ball of like 30-foot darkness, and you guys had no idea what you were fighting, and I don't think I ever even put a pawn down for it.
Right, yeah. And so it seemed to me like, when you first described it, that's what I was picturing in my head, even though I've always known what a Displacer Beast looks like. I know it's this big black panther, 6 legs, and the tentacles of that. I had that image in my head, maybe not in stark detail, but I knew it. But I suddenly thought, oh, how cool would it be to really not know that you're fighting like this crazy beast of a feline. You're just struggling against a dark shadow that's shooting tentacles at you. The last thing you're going to think of is a cat.
Yeah, very true.
Right? And like, what a surprise when you defeat it, should you defeat it,
yeah.
that it goes down and you're like, holy, like, what kind of, what else am I in for?
Well, yeah, no, I love that. I love that even as a story beat. Like the idea of a wizard sitting on his throne, just casting darkness on the room and watching this Displacer Beast fuck around his courtyard while messing up the party.
Oh, that'd be so awesome. I'd even like maybe take it a step further and have 2 Displacer Beasts, but one function just as is, and one function the way I just described, and then maybe give the one with the darkness surrounding it the ability to grapple with its tentacles and pull you into the darkness. And then you can get a more the player character get a more tangible idea of what it is you're actually facing through that experience. Especially if should they get away, they could sort of call it to the other party members and be like, "Oh, it's the same thing but different." And everyone goes, "What?" I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like the duality there. I would definitely make for an interesting encounter, especially considering I've never even seen a PC that has true sight.
Yeah, right. What sort of setting do you imagine you placing this creature in an encounter? Like, what's the terrain?
I have a default terrain for stuff like this that I kind of use, and that's like abandoned arcanist library.
Man, I was thinking the exact same thing. Well, sort of. I was thinking like the attic of like a mansion, some sort of mansion or castle that's sort of abandoned, not really looked at or well kept, covered in dust, and for some strange reason has like a connection to the Feywild in some way, and one of these creatures has wandered in and is catching you by surprise, like amongst the rows of bookshelves and books piled on the floor and furniture shoved in the corner and that sort of thing.
Definitely. I love these creatures. I love all the possibilities with these creatures, and I love running these creatures. They're hard for CR3. They're not an they're not an easy hit between the tentacles, the multi-attack, and the displacement.
Yeah, I mean they're doing 1d6 bludgeoning and 1d6 piercing at the same time.
Yeah,
in one blow, eh? And you have half the chance to hit them than any other normal creature. Like normally, like it's
and even I'd say even less because any AOE spell is
they're no slouch on their damage, and they're even less of a slouch in their ability to avoid it.
No, I think a lot of it has to do with that 13 AC. They're real easy to hit when you can hit.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So like even rolling 2 die with no modifiers, it's you're still looking at like a 40% chance to hit with no modifiers or something like that. 40,
right.
45.
Yeah.
So it's
still it could be an unnerving fight to say the least.
Definitely.
I think it would be really fun to pair these up because I mean having 2 of these in a say against. I know doubling CR does not necessarily double the encounter CR, right? It's not necessarily a CR6 encounter with 2 of these in the room, but having 2 of these in a room against a party of, say 8 or 9 would be really interesting to see, I think, because they are simple enough to run, but still dangerous despite that simplicity.
Very. It's those built-in mechanics that really put an edge onto these guys. They're fun. Yeah,
I think despite how something about the simplicity was really lovely about this that I'm suddenly like I would love to run one of these. I'm finding this really enticing.
I definitely think you'd have
super
a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah. All right, that's awesome. Anything else?
No, not on my end. No audience stories this week, which is unfortunate, but it happens.
I can't win them all.
No, but if you have an audience story, feel free to hit us up on Twitter. We're at EncounterPod. You can send us an email at info@encounter.this.ca. We have a Facebook page where we sometimes are, facebook.com/encounterthis. We have a home on the web where all of our episodes are up and archived, encounterthis.ca, where you can also find the reading list, which I will definitely be linking the Black Destroyer, if not Tales of the Space Beagle.
Yeah, do it up.
Yeah, and if you
Tales of the Space Beagle, I love it. It's such a good name.
It really is. And if you really liked it, you can hit us up on Patreon at patreon.com/encounterthispod. $5 a month, get you a handwritten letter and access to the show notes. But honestly, like with this whole COVID-19 thing going on, guys, like just donate to a local charity or buy a gift certificate for a local restaurant. We don't need it this month. We're okay. Just make sure you're out there taking care of yourselves, staying safe and staying healthy.
We totally get it. We just recently did hit a bit of a stride, through family and friends on Patreon, which was really lovely and quite the confidence boost. And I think we technically now can actually get some money from Patreon into our bank account, our business bank account. Isn't that correct?
I don't think our audience needs to know that.
Trust me, we're fine. We're flying high. We're making absolutely nothing, guys. I'm just throwing you for a loop.
Actually, that's not.
But it has been great. Yeah.
If you want to help us out and get a little something for yourself. I'll link it in the show notes, but Libris Arcana is offering a digital monthly subscription where you give them, I think it's $5 or $7 a month, and you get 2 adventures, including maps, sometimes tokens, sometimes art, sometimes a custom NPC, and we have recently taken that on. So when this drops, this will be dropping in May, which will be, I think, our 2nd month. So you can get our scenarios. Mine is For Whom the Bell Knolls, and Freeman's, yours was called A Dance with Swords.
Oh, yes, A Dance with Swords.
Where Freeman gets homebrew all over his treants.
Oh, my God. Really, really, really fun side project that James and I have taken on, and it's proved to be a challenge, but also a really good exercise in creativity, just like this podcast has been. And we're super happy to do it. It's not a terribly expensive thing, and a lot of these scenarios, we're calling them, are designed for plug and play in your own campaigns and that sort of thing.
So have a couple of minutes.
Yeah, they're not full massive encounters. They're not full campaigns. They are sort of those little segue moments that you sometimes need to fill out, and we are hoping they're designed with a certain amount of simplicity to really just like drop it in when you feel it's appropriate. And we're keeping them changed up quite a bit too. That we have a lot of cool different ideas, and it's been really, really great, and I can't wait to do more.
Yeah, and if you subscribe to that, shoot us a message on Twitter and let us know what you think. We would love any of the feedback. That would be
Absolutely.
wonderful.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to do it for us today, creatures. Thank you. If you've got time, rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. And we hope you're well out there, and we hope this could be a little bit of a light in the dark.
Yeah, take the time to stay safe and get connected with old friends and play D&D.
Online.
Online. On the onlines. On the interwebs.
I mean, the world may go back to normal by the time this comes out, in which case I'll just cut this. But
that's fine.
but sincerely, thank you for listening.
Yeah, cheers, friends.